It's Jen from Not So Mystical Tarot. This is going to be your reading for all of the signs, sun, moon, and rising for the time period beginning on the 12th of July this coming weekend. You can find me on Instagram at Not So Mystical Tarot or NotSoMysticalTarot.com if you'd like a personal or private reading. All of the July readings are up, so make sure you go and see your career, money, finance, or love relationship as well. And then I do these little quickie updates every week. And you'll also see I have first and second half of the month for each individual sign up too. So go and check all that out. There's lots to watch. All right. I will also put all my contact information in the description if you would like to have a personal or private reading, and all the timestamps for each individual sign so you can hop to them to get some more clarification, because again, this is a general reading. So let's get started with Aries. Aries, what do we have? We've got the High Priestess and Judgment. Okay, there is something I like to say a lot of times with this Judgment card, it's kind of like you've done everything that you can do, and the High Priestess is about your intuition, but I kind of feel like you're second guessing yourself about something, and this Judgment card is kind of here to remind you, listen, you've done everything that you could do up until this point, and so this is kind of like a let the chips fall where they may sort of thing, and your intuition may be causing you to second guess yourself a little bit, or to think, oh, did I do enough? Could I have done something different? Could I have changed this person's mind? Could I have made a different choice? You know what? You did what you could do at the time. You did the best that you could do. And I love this. You have the Queen of Cups clarifying this High Priestess, and the Queen of Cups is nurturing and loving and gentle and kind, and I think it's kind of saying, listen, you know, try to be kind and gentle with you, because she's very nurturing to everyone else, but again, with this intuition thing, if you're starting to question your own intuition and question yourself, kind of look at you the way you would look at other people. Give yourself the benefit of the doubt. Be kind to yourself when it comes to whatever this is. And like I say, check your moon and rising, because this is a general reading, and it may give you some more clarification, or it could resonate more with you depending on what you have going on astrologically. So let's get a little bit more information about this Judgment card. I kind of like to see that card too, because it kind of says, like I said, like let the chips fall where they may. You've done everything you can do. It's like you can move on, you know, judgment is passed and you can move on. Okay, you got two cards flying out here. Wow, and you have the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is emotional fulfillment and stability. So I think, like I said, the chips are going to fall wherever they're going to fall. You've done everything you can do, and you can rest in that, like knowing that you have done whatever it is you could do. There's nothing different. There's no choice you could have made differently. There's nothing that that you could have done to change the situation. And also the King of Wands, very charismatic, very I don't want to say attractive, but more like very successful. So I think when this all shakes out, it's not going to be traumatic and upsetting and detrimental to you personally. It's just maybe a lot all at once. But like I said, with this King, remember, you are a fire sign, you are the Wands. So this also sees you as kind of being victorious, kind of getting what you need to get out of the situation, and it not affecting you negatively. I really feel like it's not going to affect you negatively, even if you are questioning your intuition right now. All right. We're going to move on to our Taurus watchers. What do we have going on for Taurus? The Lovers. Okay. I feel like it's not that one. I feel like it's this one. Okay, and the High Priestess. You may have some sort of feeling about a relationship that you have, and this can be platonic or it can be romantic, but if you have I feel like there's somebody here that is going to have a feeling that there's something that they don't know that they need to find out, and if you feel like you need to kind of dig deeper into someone's intentions toward you, or into the relationship in general, this may be the time to do that. If you're having a certain feeling about a relationship, and like I said, if this resonates with you, you'll know right away what I'm talking about. But if you're having that certain feeling, chances are you're probably right. I mean, this could be from something not going the way you want it to go, to somebody maybe liking you or wanting to be around you, and you're thinking, do they really like me? They really do. So let's get an idea of what's going on here. All right, you've got two different This is interesting. You are the Pentacles. Remember that. You're Earth sign. So the first one you have is the Page of Pentacles. And this pages are bringers of messages. So you are getting a message. This message is definitely for you. So if your intuition is telling you, hey, this person's kind of acting like they like me, or this person is acting weird and I don't know what's wrong with them, this message is for you. It's coming in loud and clear that you need to go and ask the questions that need to be asked. Or like I said, if you feel like this person is into you, likes you, whatever, this is the time to maybe step forward and say something to them because your intuition is dead on. The other thing that you have coming out here is the Knight of Pentacles. And like I said, you are the Earth signs, you are the Pentacles. This is the slowest moving energy in the deck, so that may be why you're questioning whatever this relationship is, because it may have taken a very long time to manifest itself. So you're thinking, after all this time, now suddenly now these feelings are here, suddenly now, like what? The thing is, I think it's been coming for a very long time. It's just maybe you haven't seen it before. So I'll be interested to hear what you have going on. And again, check your moon and rising, because, you know, general reading. All right, we're going to do our Geminis. What do we have for Gemini? Ooh. Gemini for the weekend, starting Friday the 12th of July, the Hierophant. Okay, following the rules. How do you feel about, I don't like that card, I think it's this one. And the Ace of Pentacles. So there's a good chance here that you have a huge opportunity coming, but you're going to need to be following the rules, which I know you don't actually love to do, Gemini, because you kind of like to do your own thing and sort of vibrate on your own frequency out in your own little area, and I get all that, but I do think that you kind of keeping your nose to the grindstone, kind of keeping yourself in that place of, you know, getting to work on time, not taking an extra long lunch hour, you know, not fudging your timesheets or having somebody else punch out for you, doing your own work. You know what I'm saying? Like, following all the rules at work is going to afford you some kind of those are just messy shuffles, going to afford you some kind of opportunity that is coming your way. Now, this card flew out here, and it's the Ten of Swords clarifying this. So this is, I definitely think it's supposed to be here, because if we don't follow the rules in this situation, you're going to be super disappointed and super sad, because you will miss out on this opportunity. So like I said, you definitely want to follow the rules. And you are the Swords, you know, you are air signs. So in your head, you might have worked it out a certain way, and you might have your own ideas, but in this instance, you are going to have to follow the rules, because you don't want this to happen, right? We don't want to make a mistake that later on we find out, oh, I gotta move, oh, it's hot back here, that we find out later on that it's our own fault, we missed out on something. Now, the other thing that came up here is the Six of Swords, and this can be about the fact that you might need to look outside of your current area to find this opportunity. And the Six of Swords is about leaving rough waters and heading to clearer waters, but I've also said too, there are times when it's about packing up a distraction that you have and sort of sending it on its way, whichever one is going to work for you. But definitely you're going to want to rid yourself of distractions, and like I said, if you need to move to get closer to this opportunity, this is the time to do it. And like with you following the rules and paying attention to what's happening, you will not miss out on that message. So I will be interested to hear what this opportunity is, and if you take advantage of it. And like I said, check the moon and rising, because it will help you out a little bit. All right, we're going to move on to our Cancers. What do we have for Cancer? The Eight of Cups. You are the Cups, emotions, and the Four of Wands. So Cancer, it looks like, I never like to say, oh, you know, you're moving away from all these things that are terrible. This is more that you're moving toward something that's better for you. So you may be moving toward a different relationship, or maybe making an advance in your relationship. You know, maybe you're going to think about getting engaged, getting married, moving in together, buying a house, something like that. And in doing that, you're moving away from these other things that don't serve you, but you're moving towards something that is a lot better, a lot more fulfilling for you. So don't look at that as moving away from things that don't serve you. You know what I mean? That is what it is, but I like to think of it so much more in the positive way of you're moving towards something better, moving towards something different. And sometimes, even when we're moving towards something good, it feels weird, and we really like to, we don't like to think of it as moving towards something. We like to think of it, you know, we get upset and we start thinking about moving away from something. And I don't like to focus on what you're leaving behind, because if it was so great, you wouldn't be leaving it behind. Let's see. you get the Nine of Cups, so this is a nice progression here. You're moving away or towards something that's better for you, and then the Nine of Cups is a realization of hopes, dreams, wishes fulfilled, dreams, all this kind of great, wonderful stuff. And like I said, I think that it has something to do with a relationship or even building a more solid foundation. And it could be even at work. That does happen. If you're very close to your colleagues, you might be moving up in the corporate world and building up a better foundation for yourself in that area. But I do feel like this is pretty personal. So unless you're like really, really close to your coworkers, I definitely think this has something to do with you personally. Ooh, you do have the Death card, and that's no surprise here. In order to take yourself here, you're going to have to let some things go, which I think you already know with this Eight of Cups, is that you're already saying goodbye to some things that don't work for you. You're already moving forward and embracing this Nine of Cups, the things that really do work for you and the things that are going to help you move to a place like this, to this good spot, this new foundation, this new way of living and building things. So I definitely think, don't freak out about the Death card. People tend to freak out about that, but I think it's kind of a reassurance that you're doing the right thing. Let death come in and sweep out all the old stuff and move on. You're moving absolutely in the right direction. So we're going to move on to Leo now. What do we have for our Leos? The King of Swords. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like I said, the King or the Queen. And the Knight of Pentacles, Leo. Okay. The King of Swords is about you needing to make a decision, and it needs to be made swiftly. And here you have the Knight of Pentacles, which is the slowest moving energy in the deck. So, Leo, there's some decision that you need to make. You've known that you needed to make it, and I feel like you're not doing it. So, whatever this decision is, I feel like you've waited long enough. Now is the time. And the King of Swords is pretty harsh. He's pretty much like cut and dry, like this is it. And I think that's what they're saying here, is that this decision has been coming for quite a while. Now that you have this King of Swords, it's like now is the time. You don't have any more time left. You must make the decision. You also have the Four of Swords, which confirms that you've had that time of rest. You've taken that time to think it over. You've thought it over into infinitum, and it's the time for thinking, I believe, is done, because that King of Swords, he is swift, and I don't want to say harsh, but he can be, but sometimes that's what we need. You also do have this Queen of Wands. That lets me know that I think it's going to be okay, because the Queen of Wands kind of does her own thing, but she is very successful, and like I said, with her making her own decisions, doing her own thing, living her own life, she's highly successful in that, and she also is able to move past what somebody might think. And I think, Leo, sometimes that's hard, to think, well, what is this person going to think? In this case, it won't really matter what anyone thinks. You know the decision you need to make. You're going to be okay. Everybody else will get over whatever it is. And like I said, you've already taken the time away and all this other stuff to think about it. The time for thinking is done. That decision needs to be made. It's time to, it's your come to Jesus moment. You're going to have to make that decision. And if people don't like it, that's kind of on them. Okay, that's kind of their problem. So we're going to move on to our Virgos. What do we have going on for our Virgos this weekend? Virgo. The Page of Cups. You're getting an emotional message, which you always love. And Justice. Okay. The Page of Cups. Pages always bring messages. And what I love about this particular illustration is, see how he's got this fish in the cup, and he's like, you don't see him like hugging it and be like, this is wonderful. You see him like holding it out like, oh. And you know what? It's perfectly okay for you to have that reaction when this emotional message comes in. Pages are bringers. They bring messages. So just because you're getting this message doesn't mean you need to stop and fully embrace it immediately. It is okay to take some time to think about it. And the Justice card is saying, like, the decision time is here. So you can hold this out for a while, and you can think it over, but you will be forced to make a decision this weekend regarding this emotional message. This could be romantic. This could be a friend that's reached out to you. It could be a social application that you're not sure you want to partake in. But whatever it is, it will make you feel a little like, oh, do I want to do this? And you have every right to think it over. But the time has come to make that decision. You are going to have to make the decision. You have the Ace of Wands that comes up with it, and that's an opportunity. And it could be that you have like a passion project available to you. It could be romantic, that you have a romantic opportunity, and I don't think it's like a cheesy opportunity. I mean, it could be like a really serious romantic opportunity available to you, but like I said, it's come down to it, and now it's time to take action. You do also have two other cards that came out, so I'll do those quick. You have the Knight of Swords that came out, and the Knight of Swords, Knights are bringers of energy. Pages bring messages, Knights bring energy. This is mental though. This is completely and entirely logical, which you love, because this whole emotional thing is like, ugh. So you are able to hold this out for a moment, use this Knight of Swords to be completely and entirely logical, and say, oh, okay, you know what, this makes sense, or this person is nuts, or I can't afford to involve myself in this project right now, whatever the case might be, but use your logic in making the decision on how you take action. It isn't about whether you will or not. You have to take action and make a decision, but on how you take the action and how you present that decision, that is going to be essential for you. Now, the other card that came out is the Eight of Wands, and the Eight of Wands is about fast-moving energy, and just like I said, you have to make the decision. The decision is coming, and you're not the only sign that got something like this. I can't remember who else got it, but somebody else got a sign where it was like, you have to make the decision now. It's been coming for a while, and now it's time. This is the same thing. This energy is moving very, very fast. You will not get out of making this decision, so you might as well just prepare yourself for it now, whether you really like it or not. That's kind of how it's going to go. So there you have it, Virgo. We're going to move on to our Libras. What do we have for our Libras? Ooh, the Eight of Pentacles, Libra. And what else? The Moon. Okay, you have been working on something. You got your head kind of down. You're just doing your own thing, and you're like vibing on your own groove here, and you're seeing some serious success, but I don't even think you've noticed it yet. Now, I feel like there's some kind of opportunity coming for you, and it's going to be something you want to be wary of, because the Moon is about things not really looking a certain way, like, and not really being that way. And kind of what I'm feeling here is like you've been working super hard, and either you have a bunch of things to sell because of that, or you've been doing really well at work, something like that. You may be offered a promotion, or somebody might be like, oh, let me buy this stuff from you, or oh, let me put your stuff in my shop on consignment, or oh, come work for me. And it might look like this super awesome opportunity, but I want you to question everything when it comes to whatever this opportunity is, because you've worked really hard and you have this serious amount of success. And you're going to want to take a look at whatever is offered to you, because it may not be as good as it seems. It may look really great to you, like a candlelight restaurant is beautiful at night, and if you saw it by the light of day, it's like nothing special. Same kind of thing. The other thing is, for people that are, this also can have to do with your physicality. If you're somebody who's like really into your fitness, or you're working on your physique, it could be the thing where like you get on that slippery slope of eating things and like blowing off exercising that you really don't want to do, and it causes a big problem. I'm just saying, if that's something that that you're into, or something that resonates with you, take that for whatever it is. Yeah, you got the Seven of Swords here. Seven of Swords is about secret keeping, and things, people not telling the truth, and things being omitted, like lies of omission. And that's what I'm saying about this. Somebody may present you with some great opportunity, or oh, I can help you, oh, join forces with me, or partner with me, or get in on this marketing thing, look at all the hard work you've done, oh, I can make you rich, or I can sell all your stuff, you give it to me at this price, and you're like, oh, okay. Question everything, because I don't think you're going to be getting, this offer is not going to give you all the details, and you do not want to put yourself in a position where all your hard work goes to waste because somebody else, takes advantage of you. Now, you also have this Three of Wands, and that's about future long-range planning. So I think especially if you're planning on getting into some kind of business partnership, taking a different kind of job, doing something else, changing your long range, your 5-year plan, your plan of whatever you have going on that you've set up for your life. If this opportunity could possibly impact that, again, you're going to want to really second guess everything that is brought to your attention, because everything is relevant when it comes to stuff like this. So really pay attention, okay? All right, we're going to move on to our Scorpios. What do we have going on for our Scorpios this weekend? What are you all up to? Ooh. Come on, Scorpio, give me your card. Ooh, the Strength card. What are you going to need that for? I feel like it's this one in the plan. Okay. I know that lately some of my Scorpios have been feeling a little bit all over the place, and that especially, there's a Mercury retrograde going on, and everybody's a little like, but I will say, for the Scorpios, especially when it comes to your personal life and your personal affairs, it's really important that you try to keep a rein on that. And this strength card is about, it's not like a physical show of strength. It's like a brute force strength. This is like an infinite amount. You have this in an infinite amount. You can call on this of like that personal decorum, like the way that you conduct yourself, instead of like, just as an example, if someone asks you, oh, would you like more mashed potatoes? You don't have to be like, hell no, I don't want your mashed potatoes that are going to make me fat. You know what I'm saying? You can say, oh, no, thank you. That it's just an example. I'm not talking about food here. I'm saying whether it comes to somebody asking you out, whatever. You don't need to be harsh and brutal, but you do need to be super strong. And this Three of Pentacles is about keeping to a plan. So like, let's just say that this weekend, just as an example, let's say that you had said to yourself, you know what, this weekend I'm going to engage in self-care. I'm going to clean up my house. I'm going to take care of all my bills. I'm going to, go through my closet. I'm going to get my everything organized. I'm going to take care of all these important things. And then somebody's like, hey, let's go do this. And you're like, I'm out of here. And you drop all of the plans you had and all the responsibilities that you were going to take care of. And you just go off into la la land. That's what I'm saying. Like, set up a plan for yourself and stick to that. Now, the other card you have coming up here is this Page of Swords, and pages bring messages. And this is a message of you need to use your head. And that's great with this strength card, because this strength is all about your inward strength. It isn't about your outward strength, like how much you can pick up or how far you can run, or how much you can yell at someone and dominate them and scare them. This is about your keeping yourself cool and calm and collected, and still regaining your composure and still making sure that you are heard. So this is going to be a voice just saying, hey, make sure you use your head. That's the message here, is make sure you use your head and not your brain, not your brawn. But you're going to want to stick to the plan. Whatever plan, like I said, if you had a plan, and I think this is a message for someone, I don't know, if you had a plan, like let's say this weekend, to really engage in some serious self-care, it's super important that you follow that plan. You have another card coming up here, and it is the Page of Cups. In the Page of Cups, you are a water sign, okay? And notice here, she's got this cup being handed to her with this fish in it. Do you see that she's not like snuggling it right to her, like, oh yay, this talking fish in a cup? She's kind of like, that's what I want you to do. When a message, because this is a message, when a message comes in that says, oh, hey, let's blow off all the stuff we were going to do this weekend, and that money you were going to use to pay the rent, let's go and do this instead. It may be smart for you to engage this other page and go, is this a logical decision? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Is this the plan I had for myself this weekend? That's what I'm saying. It's like really important that you make a plan for yourself this weekend, for your mental health and your personal health, and that you stick to it. Really important. All right, Sagittarius. What do we have going on for our Sagittarians for the weekend starting the 12th of July? Sagittarius, the World. Wow, can't really beat that. And what else do we have? The Six of Pentacles. Okay, Sagittarius, it looks to me like you have every opportunity in front of you this weekend. Like, this could be a fantastic weekend. I don't know what you're working on or what you're involved with, but this definitely is a weekend where your abundance is clear, and like here you have somebody that's abundant enough to be able to give to other people. And I think the act of you giving creates more of this amazing opportunity. So whether you're like decluttering your house and giving away things to charity, or maybe you volunteer somewhere, or maybe you have a friend who's like moving and they need your physical help. It doesn't have to be that you have to give people money, but there's something that you have of your own self that you can give to someone else and like really turn them around. But the thing is, we all know that when you give like that to someone and it really helps them, it makes you feel really amazing. It makes you feel like really, really amazing. So let's keep that in mind, because I mean, we don't give so that we can have everything in the whole world given to us, but it just kind of happens. The more you give, the more you get, and I believe that's what we're talking about here. What is this card that flew out? Wow, look at that, the King of Cups. Okay, so this definitely, this weekend, and this could be like, this doesn't have to be something huge monetarily. It may be talking to a friend on the phone who's upset for half an hour and really helping them through something, and you'll think, you might feel really great about that, and because you really helped them. It could be anything. It can be helping somebody do something on the computer that they couldn't figure out, and you give them a hand. It doesn't have to be money, but there's some way that you're going to give of yourself that's going to really change someone and really help them, and it's going to in turn impact you the same way. Oh, I know what it's going to do for you. Okay, so you have this Four of Cups that shows up here. The way that it impacts you is it decreases your level of apathy, because this is about being bored. And I think sometimes we just get so busy working and taking care of everything and doing all these tasks. We get a lot of lists and a lot of stuff we have to do, and we don't really take the time to engage with other people. So by taking the time to give like that and receive back, emotionally you get that fulfilling feeling of like doing the right thing and feeling really good about that. And it also decreases your apathy toward just in general just not caring about other people, because sometimes we all get that way. We get like, ugh, you know, if one more person tells me they need something, I'm gonna scream. But instead, this weekend, instead of feeling like that, when somebody says they need something, say, you know what, I'm gonna help them. Even if you're like, I don't want to help them, say, I'm gonna help them, because you know what, that's gonna turn that apathy around. And really, you know what, we need a lot more people in this world that are not so apathetic to the things that other people need, right? And I'm the first person to say, I need to practice that too. When somebody needs something, I can't be everything to everyone, but you know what, there's times I can help people. And I mean, just, I'm not a Sagittarius, but you know what, this weekend I'm going to try to think of that myself. All right, we're going to move on to our Capricorns. What do we have going on for our Capricorns this weekend? Capricorn. Let's see. Four of Wands. You guys love this. A nice family card. Not necessarily marriage, but family. Oh, and the Seven of Swords. Okay. So it looks like you've got, well, you like a firm foundation. Anyways, Capricorn, this is very important to you, that you have things set in a certain way and that you really want to be happy in your relationships. Whether this is romantic or not, this is just familial in general. If there is something going on in a relationship of yours, I have a feeling it's because there is something that is being left unsaid. There's, you know, they call them a lie of omission, and you're not the only person getting this message this weekend, by the way. But if I feel like there is some sort of, if there's something odd in a relationship that you have going on, there's something that you don't know. And it doesn't, like I said, this doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. This can be with a family member or like a really close friend or a colleague that you're really close to. But if there's something feeling wrong, it's because there's somebody is not saying something. A lot of times people say that Seven of Swords is about like people cheating on each other and all that. I mean, I hate to say that every time that comes up that's the case. I think it's more people sometimes omit the things that they don't want to talk about, and I think that's much more along the lines of what we're looking at. Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Hold on, let me find your card. I could have sworn one, oh, come on. Must not have been yours. I could have sworn one flipped the other way. Okay, hold on. We'll get this card. We're going to find out what's going on and what is happening in this relationship. Page of Wands. Okay, you're getting a message too. Pages are always people that bring you a message. It doesn't necessarily indicate that you need to do something, but it is a message about taking action. So my thought is, if you have a relationship that is feeling odd, something's wrong, something doesn't feel quite right, it's important that you take the message that it is time to do something about that, whether it's go to that person and say, hey, listen, like, did I do something that upset you? Because it could be that maybe you've offended or hurt them and they just aren't telling you about it because they just don't want to get into it. It could be that, but it is important that you address it. Now, the other thing that when this card comes up in a situation like this that I like to say is keep it off social media. If you think something is going on or something is wrong, this is not the time to get on social media and make a big scene about it. Keep it to yourself. This is not the time to call somebody out on there and have a big thing. This is just not the time. And here you go, Capricorn. You are the Pentacles. This is you, okay? This is an opportunity from the universe for you to right everything around. And like I said, this is in your tangible life. This is someone you know first person. This is not somebody you know online or you're friends with on Facebook. I mean, you could be, but you know them in person. This relationship is in person, and it is important for you to go to that person. Don't call them. Don't get on social media and, you know, blow up their feed about what you think is wrong. Go to them physically. Go to them and ask them what is going on, what is happening. There's some detail that you don't know, and that's what's causing the problem. Okay, check your moon and rising for that one. We're going to go on to our Aquarians. Before we run out of time, what do we have for our Aquarians? The Hanged Man. Oh, I got this. I'm an Aquarius. I got this today, and because it says I don't like looking at things from a different perspective, and I don't, but that's what we have to do. So, and the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, this is about looking at something from a perspective that you are not interested in looking at it from. And that would be, like I said, I got this twice today. So there's that. Okay, and you have this Eight of Pentacles because you're working super hard on something. Is it possible that what you're working really hard on is personally extremely satisfying to you, but it's not garnering you what you need, or you're not going about it in the proper way? Like maybe you're working hard and not smart. I think that's probably what's happening here, is you need to look at it differently because you're working hard and not smart. You have the Ace of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles is about opportunity, the universe bringing you an opportunity to learn. So you working hard and not smart is not the way to do it. So you're going to have to back it up, force yourself to look at it differently, okay? Find examples of how to do it and look at it differently. And also, you have the Queen of Wands. I love her because you know what? She gets things done, and she doesn't care what anyone thinks. That also keeps coming up for Aquarius again and again, along with this Hangman. So you've got to stop worrying about what everybody else thinks, because you know what? You doing you is going to get you the results that you want, and it's going to actually be more pleasurable than you thought. Just do your own thing. Whatever anybody else says, it's not your problem. You're an air sign. It's very easy for you to overthink things, but this time it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Just take a deep breath and move on. All right, check your moon and rising. We're going to do Pisces. Four of Cups. Pisces, you're bored out of your mind, which is easy for you to do. It's easy for you to feel that way because you're super creative and you get bored easily. And you have here the Ace of Wands. So you know what, Pisces? Because you're bored to tears, you're like, this is a card of apathy. Like, I could just care less. There's not one more minute of caring I could do. You have this Ace of Wands. I don't really feel like this is romantic. I feel like this is about a passion project for you because you're finding in your personal life, you're just bored. I think like you need a craft to do, or you need something to do that's going to fulfill you. And it's important here, the opportunity has presented itself, that you grab onto that and that you do that, whatever it is. If you want to go join some hiking club or take a class or learn to tap dance, I don't care what it is, draw, do whatever you want to do, start a YouTube channel, do it. But it's important that you take a hold of that opportunity, because after a while the universe won't send them. You know what I'm saying? So take a hold of that. You also have the Nine of Cups popping up here, and that's wishes and dreams and fulfillment and happiness coming. So you know what? Like, I love to see that because it just tells me that apathy is going to move on. And look at the other card you got, the Ten of Cups. So listen, when you take care of your personal passions and you engage in things that really excite you and make you happy and fulfill you personally, your relationships, husband, wife, marriage, personal relationships, daily relationships really get so much better. You've got to feed your own soul so that you can be present for your family, your friends, your close relationships, because that's the only way that you are that you feel like a full and whole person. Okay? I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for watching.